Anglais, niveau intermédiaire 5. S'il vous plaît, ne pas oublier de vous abonner et aimer la vidéo.
Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
J'ai ajouté 2 kg de fromage à ma liste de courses.
I added 2 kilos of cheese to the shopping list.
I added 2 kilos of cheese to the shopping list.
L'enseignante a indiqué aux élèves la formule figurant au tableau.
The teacher pointed the formula on the board to the students.
The teacher pointed the formula on the board to the students.
Tous les élèves ont réussi le test aujourd'hui.
All students passed the test today.
All students passed the test today.
Personne n'a répondu quand on a frappé à la porte.
Nobody answered when we knocked the door.
Nobody answered when we knocked the door.
J'ai fini mes devoirs avant d'aller me coucher.
I finished my homework before going to bed.
I finished my homework before going to bed.
On a travaillé toute la journée pour finir le nettoyage.
We worked all day to finish the cleaning.
We worked all day to finish the cleaning.
Ahmed est arrivé au Canada le mois dernier.
Amit arrived in Canada last month.
Ahmed arrived in Canada last month.
Ahmed est arrivé à l'aéroport il y a 2 heures.
Amit arrived at the airport 2 hours ago.
Ahmed arrived at the airport 2 hours ago.
Mon père a réparé tous les jouets cassés en 2 jours.
My father fixed all the broken toys in 2 days.
My father fixed all the broken toys in 2 days.
Nos nouveaux locataires nous ont invités à dîner samedi dernier.
Our new tenants invited us for dinner last Saturday.
Our new tenants invited us for dinner last Saturday.
Ahmed et Andreas ont continué leurs devoirs toute la nuit.
Amit and Andreas continued their homework all night.
Ahmed and Andreas continued their homework all night.
Ahmed m'a aussi aidé à finir mes devoirs.
Amit helped me finish my homework too.
Ahmed helped me finish my homework too.
Ahmed m'a suggéré de travailler dur.
Ahmed suggested I study hard.
Ahmet suggested I study hard.
Le match de football s'est terminé par des tirs au but.
The football match ended with penalty kicks.
The football match ended with penalty kicks.
La police a regardé toutes les voitures dans la rue il y a 2 heures.
The police looked all the cars on the street 2 hours ago.
The police looked all the cars on the street 2 hours ago.
Lisa a senti les fleurs quand elle a visité le parc.
Lisa smelled the flowers when she visited the park.
Lisa smelled the flowers when she visited the park.
Le professeur nous a expliqué la solution du problème.
The teacher explained us the solution of the problem.
The teacher explained us the solution of the problem.
Ahmet et Andreas ont planifié un voyage à Washington.
Ahmet and Andreas planned a trip to DC.
Ahmet and Andreas planned a trip to DC.
Tous les piétons ont traversé la rue quand le feu vert s'est allumé.
All the pedestrians crossed the street when the green light turned on.
All the pedestrians crossed the street when the green light turned on.
J'ai marché jusqu'à l'école aujourd'hui.
I walked to school today.
I walked to school today.
Maria conduisait sa voiture.
Maria drove her car.
Maria drove her car.
Hélène faisait du vélo.
Ellen rode her bicycle.
Ellen rode her bicycle.
Hans a pris le bus.
Hans took the bus.
Hans took the bus.
Je dînais quand Ahmet est arrivé.
I was eating dinner when Ahmet came.
I was eating dinner when Ahmet came.
Quand le téléphone a sonné, je dormais.
When the phone rang, I was sleeping.
When the phone rang, I was sleeping.
Le téléphone a sonné pendant que je dormais.
The phone rang while I was sleeping.
The phone rang while I was sleeping.
À 18 heures, Ahmet s'est assis à table et a commencé à manger.
At 6 p.m., Amit sat down at the table and began to eat.
At 6 p.m., Ahmet sat down at the table and began to eat.
À 18h05, Ahmet dînait à table.
At 6:05, Amit was eating dinner.
At 6:05, Ahmet was eating dinner.
Pendant qu'Ahmet dînait, Andreas est entré par la porte.
While Amit was eating dinner, Andreas came through the door.
While Ahmet was eating dinner, Andreas came through the door.
En d'autres termes, quand Andreas est arrivé par la porte, Ahmet dînait.
In other words, when Andreas came through the door, Amit was eating dinner.
In other words, when Andreas came through the door, Ahmet was eating dinner.
Hans s'est couché à 22h30.
Hans went to bed at 10:30.
Hans went to bed at 10:30.
À 23h, Hans dormait.
At 11 Hans was sleeping.
At 11 o'clock Hans was sleeping.
Pendant que Hans dormait, le téléphone a sonné.
While Hans was sleeping, the phone rang.
While Hans was sleeping, the phone rang.
En d'autres termes, quand le téléphone a sonné, Hans dormait.
In other words, when the phone rang, Hans was sleeping.
In other words, when the phone rang, Hans was sleeping.
José a quitté sa maison à 8h du matin et a commencé à marcher pour se rendre en classe.
Jose left his house at 8 a.m. and began to walk to class.
Jose left his house at 8 a.m. and began to walk to class.
Alors qu'il allait en classe, il a vu Madame Smith.
While he was walking to class, he saw Mrs. Smith.
While he was walking to class, he saw Mrs. Smith.
Quand José a vu Madame Smith, elle était sur son balcon.
When Jose saw Mrs. Smith, she was standing on her balcony.
When Jose saw Mrs. Smith, she was standing on her balcony.
Elle tenait un balai.
She was holding a broom.
She was holding a broom.
Madame Smith a fait signe à Bob quand elle l'a vu.
Mrs. Smith waved at Bob when she saw him.
Mrs. Smith waved at Bob when she saw him.
Où sont Ahmet et Lisa? Je ne les ai pas vus depuis 2 semaines.
Where are Amit and Lisa? I haven't seen them for a couple of weeks.
Where are Ahmet and Lisa? I haven't seen them for a couple of weeks.
Ils ne sont pas en ville. Ils sont en voyage.
They're out of town. They're traveling.
They're out of town. They're traveling.
J'ai invité Ahmet et Lisa à mon anniversaire, mais ils ne sont pas venus.
I invited Amit and Lisa to my birthday party, but they didn't come.
I invited Ahmet and Lisa to my birthday party, but they didn't come.
Pourquoi ne sont-ils pas venus?
Why didn't they come?
Why didn't they come?
Ils n'étaient pas en ville. Ils étaient en voyage.
They were out of town. They were traveling.
They were out of town. They were traveling.
De quoi je parlais quand le téléphone m'a interrompu?
What was I talking about when the phone interrupted me?
What was I talking about when the phone interrupted me?
J'ai oublié ce que j'allais dire.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Vous décriviez le site web que vous avez trouvé sur Internet hier.
You were describing the website you found on the internet yesterday.
You were describing the website you found on the internet yesterday.
J'ai raté le début du reportage.
I missed the beginning of the news report.
I missed the beginning of the news report.
De quoi parle l'annonceur?
What's the announcer talking about?
What's the announcer talking about?
Elle décrit les conditions en Haïti après le tremblement de terre.
She's describing conditions in Haiti after the earthquake.
She's describing conditions in Haiti after the earthquake.